Hello everybody, I'm Renzo Mox, and welcome to another mock review. Now there's nothing on the screen right now, it's just my hand, just the blue backdrop, whatever. Well today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, because today I'm going to be looking at, like, a lot of mocks. In total I'll be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mocks. 7 mocks in total, because today we're going to be taking a look at Renzo's main cast. So all the cast of main characters throughout Season 1 and Season 2 of Renzo. Mostly Season 1, but Season 2 as well. Anyways, so let's not waste any time, let's get right into it. So first of all, we have Renzolian Alexander Contras. Now I know you guys are thinking, you've already done a bunch of Renzo reviews. Yes, I know. But things have been updated, so I figured it was about time to give you guys some updates too. And I'll also be doing that for Geode, which Geode has even less updates than Renzo, but whatever. Okay, here we go. So not much about his build has actually changed. He stays fairly the same. The biggest change on Renzo would be this. He used to have the arm blade, but instead has been replaced with this piece, which is a really good replacement. It covers up its extra armor. It works out really well, especially for Renzo. I think it really does fit him. The second main thing about his accessory is that he does not have the black gun anymore. Now that was more of a sidearm, but he doesn't have that anymore. There isn't really a story explanation. The story explanation is that he just, he got rid of it or something. He just didn't find it useful. He's still got the, what's it called? The squiff, though. He's still got the trusty squiff, which has not been mentioned by name yet. Hopefully it will soon. And the last of which would be his brand new sword. Now he has a sword very similar to this in Fodom, a very long blade. The only difference is he doesn't have the trans blue cone pieces here and here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But and I'm pretty sure this piece is green on Thatch's version. So the idea is that after Fodom, all the events of Fodom take place, he gets this new upgraded sword, which you guys will have to wait till Fodom 6 for that conclusion, which is a long time from now. Even Fodom 5 isn't even out yet. So yeah, it'll be a while before you'll see Renzo like this. Or it'll be a while until Renzo gets his sword in universe. So yeah. But that's basically it. There's not much else to say. He's pretty much the exact same. He's still got the same color scheme, still got the same cape. His build underneath his cape is pretty much identical. He's still got the waist gear. Yeah, nothing else new. He's basically remained exactly the same. So yeah, let's move right on. And next up in Renzo's team is Geode. Now again, I've talked about Geode before, and like Renzo, he has not changed very much. However, this time, Geode has barely changed at all. In fact, he's got two major changes, that being this metal piece on his back in gunmetal, and then these two pieces by his feet to help stabilize the foot, and also his toes are curled in, but that's about it. So rather than just saying that and being done, I think I want to elaborate on him. Geode is a full robot. That explains why he has the robot voice. He's not a cyborg, he is a full robot. He's just a cynical robot. So yeah. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. So I wanted to bring up two things. So first of all, this is a jetpack. The idea is that these little green lights are basically energy, so he can, or like green fire or whatever, and he can basically just use that to take off. He hasn't used it in Renzo yet, but he will for sure. He also has this armor piece, which is add-on. I don't know why it's there. I mean, Thatch put it on in Fodom. I was watching Fodom, what was it, 4? I was watching Fodom 4, and he had this on his back, so I figured, hey, why not put that on his back? So he has it on his back now. It can be used as extra armor just so he can defend his back, I'm guessing, or just so that his jetpack isn't damaged. I think that would be a very good explanation. And the second thing that I wanted to talk about was this. So lifting this up, this right here is his brain and head. This is what he uses to look. This is what he uses to process things. This is his brain and his head, all compacted into one thing. This, however, is a separate entity of him. It's not his head, it is his eyebrow, in a way. So he can use this as an eyebrow, but it's to protect this. That's why it has this metal, because it's meant to protect. So, say if an enemy comes and punches him, it's not going to hurt his eye. It's just going to hurt them more. But he can move this. He can become more expressive. He can lift that up all the way, and he can function it on his own. It can basically act as a third limb if he wanted to. He can use it to attack people like that. It doesn't look very good, but that's what it is. It's a self. It's basically it's his own like eyebrow that he can control independently, which is pretty weird. But I just wanted to touch on those couple things because it's something that's very important to his character design. So yeah, let's move on. And next up we have Uncle Jira, or just Jira the mechanic. Now Jira is Renzo's uncle, and some people were confused about that. Let me explain. They're not blood related. Jira is not related to Renzo's father by blood. They're not blood siblings, but sometimes if you have a close friend, you can consider them to be an uncle. So that's what Jira is, because he's a close friend of Renzo's dad, so he's an uncle. Now his design has changed quite a bit. He had this red arm, and the idea behind that is that it was just a glove. It wasn't like his actual arm. Jira, unlike Renzo, or unlike Geode, Renzo is all organic. He's wearing armor, but he's organic. He's a living being. He's a lizard guy, basically. Geode is just a robot. He's an all-complete droid. Jira is a cyborg. He's able to change his voice, and he's able to lose limbs and basically replace himself. But he's not all mechanical. He does have some natural parts. His organs are functioning. His organs are organic. There's a couple things on him that are organic, but for the most part, he is a cyborg. So yeah. Aside from that, I think his color scheme's a little bit more solid now. He does have kind of a swap thing going on with his arms, but I don't really care. It kind of looks cool. He's got these little pieces everywhere too, which I like. They add some detail to him, and he's got them everywhere on him. So yeah, that's kind of supposed to add some detail. He's got a little core there, trans blue stud, and he has a backpack now, so I really like that. And you're probably wondering why he has red studs, or like red stuff on the back. Well, it's because later he will be getting this, and probably one of my favorite things, this sword. Now I will be changing out the Borok eye there, but basically this is kind of an alternate energy sword. He's able to use this, and it's like whoosh. It's very, very, very molten. He can use this to cut through like steel, and it would go through. It's that good. I really like the sword. I think it's okay. I really like. It originally had like a wire connected to it, but I like it as is, so I'm gonna keep it on him. But he doesn't use it as much as his gun, as you can see. The gun is the Luke gun. I think, yeah, it's modified a little bit, but I like this gun, so yeah. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually have a place to put it. Oh, and he still has waist articulation. So his build has changed a little bit, but I really do like him now. I think he's probably one of my favorite of the Renzo characters. He also has a visor that he can put up and down. I just love this face, because, you know, while he is a cyborg, this face suggests that he has a lot of, that he actually has an expression, which is awesome. So yeah, this character gets an expression, and I love it. So yeah, Jiro's one of my favorite characters. He hasn't not been in the series pretty much at all. He's only been like in one episode, which is done intentionally. He's going to be in the series a lot more eventually. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, big fan of Jira. Yeah, he's a decent mock, I think. And here we have another mock that I've actually reviewed pretty recently. Anyways, I forgot to mention a few things. First of all, Renzo is voiced by me. Geode is voiced by a computer program, which I always give Geode credit. I don't know why. I think it's just funny that I keep putting like Alex in the credits. So, but it's just a computer website that's able to do his voice. And then Jira was voiced by me. However, he is going to get a voice change later on in the series because he's a cyborg and he can do that. And his voice change will be to Toa Okoto's voice. I don't exactly know what voice he's going to use yet, but I just wanted to mention that Toa Okoto will be voicing Jira for pretty much the remainder of the series. So yeah. Next up we have Lennox Caroso, voiced by Bionic Kasai. And this character was very last added on. In fact, he was the last member to be considered for Renzo's team. He kind of came out of nowhere. He was the only one who didn't have a design previously, and he was basically just built as a plot device for Renzo to get to Sidrak 6. and meet Chorus and stuff. But his new upgrade is a lot more filled out. As you can see, he's got a lot of Technic beams everywhere and stuff, and this definitely helps fill out his body. He's got some back coverage now finally, and as you can see, there's trans yellow everywhere. And this trans yellow is pretty cool. I like the idea that he's got a color that is just completely random. Even his gun has been upgraded. He's got the same two guns from his previous episodes, though. And yes, if it wasn't obvious enough, he will be returning. I don't know when, but he's not dead. I don't ever really plan to kill him off. I really like how this guy turned off. He's very... turned out, what am I talking about? He's very simple mock, but I enjoyed the simplicity of him. He's just a fun-looking character. And even these, which I've mentioned before, look... like, I thought they'd look really bad, but they end up looking really well on this mock. So yeah, I like this guy. I think he's one of my favorite mocks, and Bionic Kasai did a really good job at his voice and personality. I think it really captures the sort of serious, troubled past guy. He really seems like he's had a difficult past. But yeah, Lennox is definitely one of my favorite characters so far. Okay, a little bit of spoilers here, but it's not really that spoilery because I put it in the Renzo trailer. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. I put a lot of work into that. I love that trailer. I hope you guys like that trailer too. But basically, I'm going to be showing the order in which the characters appear. And so Renzo and Geode and Jiro were a little messed up, but then basically next in the story was Lennox was the first one that they met, and now this is going to be the second of Renzo's team that he meets. And this is Binky, who will be voiced by my good friend, great mockist, Vonu von Travia. His character, I can't say much about his personality. His character has changed quite a bit. I know I showed him off in the Random Aliens video, and then I decided to make him a main character because he's different. You know, he's a small dude. He's very small, very childlike in nature. You guys will have to see what I'm talking about in Renzo episode 3. He's got these little derpy eyes, and I just think overall, he's got a little mouth too. I love it. He's so simple, and he's probably one of the most simple mocks I've ever made, but I don't know. I love this guy, and he's got the gun. He's got the little feet. He's just such a fun-looking character, and he's going to be really fun to put in Renzo and stuff, and he's in episode 3 of Renzo, so you can expect that hopefully soon. I want to get it out soon enough. I think I'm going to put out an episode of Biorama first, and then you guys will be getting an episode of Renzo, so look out for that. But yeah, I love his derpy little eyes too. He's just a great mock. I love him. And Vanu's voice for him is perfect. You guys haven't heard it yet, but it's so freaking good. So yeah, that's Binky. He also doesn't have a full name as of the time of this video. It's just Binky. And next up, we have a mock that I've also reviewed in the past, Suwari. And his name is still the same. His story is a little bit different. I'm kind of second guessing. I'm not sure if I want to make him the Prince of Fairies anymore. I'm kind of debating that. I don't know. But until I decide what his role will be, he's just Suwari. He's not the Prince of Fairies. He's nothing like that. He's just Suwari. He's got a lot of silver on him. That's basically all armor. All that silver is armor. All the blue is his skin. That's the idea. Now, Suwari's still a fairy, though. Fairies exist in this universe. They're really big. They look like this. Very royal. As you can see, I actually gave Suwari some fists. He looks a lot better with them, personally. His arms are a little stubby, but I don't mind it. He's got the same spear that he does. This is just what all the fairy weapons consist of. Very long, spear-like weapons. He's got these super articulated wings that... you know, a lot of poses. He's a very fast character. His actual character himself is not really well developed yet because he doesn't really have a... he definitely won't be in the series until much later. He also, I wanted to mention, will be voiced by Krexa Productions. You may or may not have heard of him. He's been on the podcast. Go check out his channel. But yeah, I like Suwari. I think he's alright. I like him better than his previous form because his previous form was just, you know, it was just like, it was a little too... elegant. He kind of had a Wastelander vibe to him too, which I wasn't really happy with. So I gave him more sleek, simpler silver design. So yeah, I like this one a lot better. And this is definitely one of my more favorite mocks for Renzo. I know it's pretty standard to some of you guys, but once I start getting Suwari's personality going, he's going to be great. I hope. So yeah, that's Suwari. And finally, we have Runk the Golem. Now Runk has increased quite a lot in size. That was my goal. Originally, Runk wasn't very tall, and I needed him to be taller than Renzo, and now he does his job. He's not as beefy as I wanted him to be, but he definitely does his job well enough to the point where it's like, alright, I can accept it. And just to get a scale of how tall he is, here he is next to Binky. And you can definitely tell that there's probably going to be some Rocket Raccoon Groot stuff going on between the two of them. Definitely. But anyways, Runk is massive. He's a very big character, but that is obvious considering that he's a golem, and golems are just massive creatures in Renzo lore, or the space lore. He's just got, they're such big creatures. And I like the little skirt he has. I'm a big, I like that. There isn't as much trans purple on him as I would have wanted, but I honestly don't mind, and his eyes are blue rather than purple, but that's not something that it's not something that I'm too worried about. He's got a very samurai-esque look, shape to him. I think that pulls it off well enough. And overall, I really enjoy this mock. He's definitely really beefy now. If I am to change anything, it's going to be this piece. I'm going to swap it out for a silver one, which I could do actually, I could do it, after this video if I wanted to. Oh, I also wanted to mention Runk will be voiced by Lego Builder 97 or Rangus. Go check him out. He does Life of a Night and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to have him voicing, even though Runk is probably the one character who has the least amount of lines. He doesn't get that many lines, but there's a reason for that. He's just a big golem. So yeah, let's move on to the overall overview. So, here they all are, Renzo's team, all together. Now I know what you're probably thinking. They don't look like a team. They look like a bunch of random frickin' weirdos assembled into a group. That is the idea. In space, there are so many species, so many different types of creatures, and so many different allies you can come across. So many different types of allies, enemies, etc. And yeah, that's the point. They're all supposed to look different. There are some similarities that I don't like. For instance, Renzo and Suwari have kind of similar color schemes. Suwari's got blue, Renzo's got blue, Suwari's got silver, Renzo has silver. Heck, he's even got some Suwari even has trans green, which I'm not too happy about, but, you know, whatever. I think it's excusable. I think it's fine. Overall, I'm really, really happy with the way that this team kind of turned out. They're all different in their own way, and that's what makes them unique. They're all incredibly different from each other. You don't expect them to be part of the same team. And they're not really a team, again. This is more Renzo's friends than they are a team. They're never formed into a proper team throughout the series. You won't see them like this too much. I'll say that right now. They don't appear like this too much at all in the entirety of the series, if that's not spoilery enough for you. But yeah, I wanted to make this video going over all these characters' upgrades and updates and stuff like that before they're introduced in Renzo, because I'm not going to change a single one of them unless they actually change in the series, which none of them have really been introduced. Only, let's see now, only 4 of these characters have been introduced, so only 3 left to go, but it will be a long road. And yeah, I wanted to do this video because it's been a while since I've done a mock review on anything, and after this, you can bet definitely that I'm going to start reviewing more mocks. I have a lot of mocks on the backlog that I need to review. A ton of Renzo villains and stuff like that. I want to get down to reviewing Pit Keeper and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of reviews going to be pumping out this week. I hope you guys can appreciate that. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. And goodbye. Adios.